Hi, everyone. This is Joe coming to you for New Mexico Book Chat. I want to thank all of you who have been following me on my journey of getting my first novel polished and published. So if you like the videos, please hit like and subscribe. Um, I realize I don't do a lot of editing on these videos, but part of that is I just want you to see the human nature behind the video, and that's why, you know, that helps you get to know me a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I've completed my novel. I've gotten really good feedback from my mother-in-law, my editor. Um, and I seem to be on the right track. It's a good story. I've gotten feedback from a couple beta readers who have said, "Hey, look, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more." Part of the other feedback I've received is you also have to write about another 20,000 words. So that's been a little bit daunting. It's been a little intimidating, but I do have to admit that um, I need to go into world building a little bit more, a video I touched on last week. And I also need to discuss, my characters a little bit more of their backstory and build them a little bit more to get the readers to care about them. So those are things that I'm working on now. Um, as part of this, second write through of the book, it's kind of exciting because it gives me the opportunity to go some places that I haven't went before. Like I said in past videos, I'm not very verbose when it comes to my writing. I like writing direct and to the point. Part of that's being a PhD student, um, where you are writing a lot of direct to the point, um, not a lot of cotton fluff mixed in with what you're writing. So not that I see that world building is cotton fluff, but I mean, as a reader who's reading a novel, you do want to know where your characters are. You do want to care about the characters that are in the book. And those things are things that I'm developing as I'm working through this, um, as, a novice writer who's trying to get published. It, as I've said before, this is a story that's been with me for a long time. It's just, I'm finally had some time to sit down and start writing, which is exciting because I'm nearing retirement. So this is hopefully going to be some of my passive retirement income, is from this book and from others that I have in the works. And I'll kind of start previewing them a little bit as we move along. But I want to thank you all for being on this journey with me. It really means a lot. Um, and I hope that we can continue to build this community and get more comments and feedback about, my writing, about my books and these videos. So to move on, like I said, I'm trying to build in 20,000 new words, 30,000 new words. But it's really worked with world building. One of the things that I've said that I struggle with. Um, the other thing that has come up is a little more character building, a little more of the backstory. Why do we care about these people? Oh, and this event happened, but why, what led to that event? What is in this person's past that led them to react that way? So those are things that I'm still working on to get through this second draft of the book. And it's really working out. It's helping me know my characters a little bit more than I thought I did. Um, it's also making me care about them a little bit more. It can be intimidating. It can be a little daunting, especially when you hear that, oh, you need to add 20,000 more words to this story. But that's okay because it has been motivating to build my characters more, to build the world more. Um, I took some things for granted because I live here in New Mexico. So not taking those things for granted anymore has been a big, big help. Because I know that most of you out there have no idea about New Mexico. You've never been here. You don't know the mountains. You don't know the mesas. So, how they're arranged. So those are things that I'm including in the story to make the story more real and make it more real for you, the readers who are going to care about this story. Um, so the other part that's kind of been a little bit motivating is when I'm using Readsy, which is the online program that I'm using to write my novel, you'll see that you'll get these email follow-ups at the end of the day, and it will say you added, 1,200 words, but you also subtracted 600, but you're still up by 600 words, which is, that's motivating that you're making progress. You're always making forward progress. It's also nice that it also keeps track of the word count for you. So to see that counter go higher and higher, at the end of each, you know, day's work that you work on it is also rewarding as well. So I've kind of been enjoying it. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm trying not to make it overwhelming, just because I do still work another job. I still, am a PhD student. So there's plenty of other things going on in my life right now that I can't devote to just writing. But one of these days I will. But this getting through this novel, getting the first draft done was certainly a huge amount of relief to know that the story was told, and then you get feedback that it's a really good story. It's got really good twists and turns. It's just taking some more building now on my part. It has been really good. It's like I built a house with a really good foundation. Now I just have to finish it. And that too is very, very motivating. So I want to thank you all for being on this journey with me. Um, and going through this exploration of hard work but enjoyable work, because it is writing, it's being very creative, and just getting these things out there and knowing that you're building something moving forward. So that's really, really great. So if you like the video, subscribe again. um, and you know we'll have another video next week, and hopefully next week we'll talk a little bit more about Rod. We'll talk a little bit more about the book. We'll also talk a little bit more about the books in progress. I kind of had the other thing that comes is an epiphany, and I had an epiphany about one of the books that I hadn't even really started yet. It was a more conceptual idea, and I've already written a really long first chapter for it. So I was excited to get that down and be able to get that book started as well. So I hope you all have a great day. Prayers to you if you're having troubles. Have a good day.